This is from Biafrans Got Talent. We are letting Biafrans know the reason why we should remember those who gave their lives for us, those who died that we may live.
You died to end my suffering. You died fighting for my freedom. Your blood is the seed of redemption. You are my inspiration.
The deed no wrong with them, military shots at them. 67 to 70, we remember them. 2016, 38 May, memory still lives in our mind till today. Wonder why they refuse to publicize the genocide. The world media turn blind eyes to our plight. It's time to arise, land of the rising sun. Let's rise one more time, let's rise.
Yo, we will never forget our fallen heroes. Those who gave their life for us. Onitsha massacre, Ipocha massacre, Aba massacre. We remember you. Alright.
Tell them I touched me, oh. Remember when me tell you say I touched me, oh. Yeah, I remember that one that called us a Bruce Mero. But the way you go like a Papa Nuku. But then they will go Niro. Me tell you what I look pandi, what pandi Samiro. Me tell you what I day. For me the plan and the rest of man I tell you what I am. Me never give up. Me tell them
heroes, I want to promise you something today. We must fight together, no retreat and no surrender. We must hold them down till the end of time. The most important thing is that we will restore Biafra. May your soul rest in peace.
And I look up to the sky with tears in my eye. For other Biafrans and for freedom had to die. We will never forget you as the days go by. You are always in my heart, you'll never be apart. They fought for our freedom, they died for our freedom. They fought the Nigerian soldiers in the war front, without food, without guns, for our freedom, for our life, for our own good, for our children. We love them, our heroes, we want them.
My heart bleeds when I saw them slain. Where will I be now if not then? They will remain indelible in my heart forever, 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 and ever, and ever, and ever.
We serve in your plantation, and the way you paid us back with your bloody starvation. We play in our history that the death of my people is a mystery. No going back to get to a victory. I had a voice now call for vengeance. I never get bummed, I'ma blow like a vengeance.
Yo, we will never forget our fallen heroes. Those who gave their life for us. Onitsha massacre, Ipocha massacre, Aba massacre. We remember you. Alright.
Where will I be now if not you? You died at Mali.
They were starved to death because of our freedom, and they paid the debt for our freedom. Flag high for those that died in the genocide, fighting for you and I. There is pain in the heart, we bleeding inside, tears in the eyes, so I'm falling here.
This is for my fallen heroes. Give them a motivation, people. It's like I'm looking at myself in the mirror. Cause to be a cast, I need to be a nurse. If we did not retire,
They paid the ultimate price. They died for the freedom of unborn child. We live for the legacy.
Yo, we will never forget
be a free. March on, cause we are more than conquerors. Yeah, you know what it is. We must revenge, and we must stand to represent who we are.
Akara m ihe mbe na-eme mbe si ma achọrọ ofu ukwu ehi ma nke ọzọ mụ achọrọ ehi niile ma ụkwụ ya ma aka ya ma isi ya ma olu ya anyị ga-adọbiri wee pụọ na nke onwe anyị tighata azụ etu anyị nọ tupu ndị ọcha wee bịa ebe a nwa aha obodo ebe a nwe ndị mmadụ n'ime tupu nwa bekee si ebe o si hapụ obodo ya ọ bịa ebe a ọkpọrọ onye nke ọkpọrọ okeke ọkpọrọ okafọ dakata anyị isi ọ sị n'ụbọchị nke taa na anya aha anyị wuzi Naijiria anyị na-aza aha na-enweghị omimi n'ime ya ihe ngwa gị gbasị biko kọwara m ihe Naijiria pụtara enwepụghị kọwara m ọmụa ga-aza aha osimiri ka osimiri ga-aza aha mụnwa n'ihi ihe anyị na-ekwuwu na ebe arụgidere ụlọ a na ọ jọgburu onwe ya ọ dịghị mma Naijiria agaghị emekọtanwu ihe ọzọ ihe ọjọọ emego n'obodo a arụ emego egbugo ndị be anyị aka na-egbukwa anyị ndị Fulani wee chere na mabata be anyị ka na-egbukwa ndị be anyị ruo ụtụtụ echi a na-asị m na ọ ga-adị mma oge ọ na-ekwekwu ka nwee mmekọrịta bụ nke ndị nụkọ nke ndị ụmụnne ha egosighị anyị ọtụtụ mgbe ha kpọrọ anyị asị onye ajụrụ ajụ na-ajụ onwe ya ha jụrụ anyị aja ama njụ onwe anyị agbanyeghị na anyị nwe ngwa ahịa n'ugwu Awụsa agbanyeghị na anyị na-azụ ahịa ebe niile dị iche iche na-eme nke ọma kama onye gara ndụ kpakụ onye ire rie n'ihe ọ Ndụbụisi ka anyị na-ekwu okwu ya ka anyị cheghata azụ ebe a ruo obodo anyị ka o wee maa mma wee karịa obodo ndị ọcha na mma ọhịa anyị na-arịọ nwekwe na ugwu nwee nkwanye ugwu n'ime onwe anyị ọnwa anyị pụọ n'iro a na-etigbu anyị pụọ n'iro ekwu okwu asị ọ bụ gịnị ma anyị ji wee ekwu okwu ọnwụ ihe ndị a ka anyị sị na anaghị anabatakwa ya ọzọ.
Akụkọ a kọrọ anyị bụ na ọkụkọ na ewu agaghị nzukọ ụmụ anụmanụ a na-emezi mgbe ọbụla a chọrọ ịchụ aja ejiri ọkụkọ maọbụ nwụchụ aja mgbe ọbụla a chọrọ ime ka Naijiria dị n'otu enwe ha na-eto esi mgbe kpam akpụrụ ndị Igbo ọ pụtara na anyị bụ ọkụkọ maọbụ ka ọ pụtara na anyị agaghị nzukọ mere ya bụ ihe eji eme anyị bụ ndị Igbo ụdị na ọbara ndị Igbo ahụ kpafu n'obodo Naijiria agaghị
ọ bụ site na akpọmasị ihe na-eme anyị dịka ihe mere ndị ji oge mgbe gara aga etu ọkụka mba niile dị iche iche ji kpọọ ụmụ Izrel asị a na-egbu ha a na-egbu ha a na-egbu ha afọ niile aka na-egbu ha o wee ruo oge ugbu anyị asị na ogbugbu a na-egbu anyị na ọ dịghị anyị mma ọ ka mma na onwe ihe ekegbuo anyị wu nwere onwe njem a nke anyị na-aga kama na anyị etete n'ụtụtụ asị na onwe onye gburu ebe a onwe ha na-ekwu okwu o doo na onye onwe onye n'aka ụkọchukwu n'ugwu Awụsa ebepụ isi ọnwụghị ofu ugboro ọnwụghị ugboro abụọ ọnwụghị ugboro atọ ọnwụghị ugboro anọ ọ bụ ruo ole mgbe ka a ga-egbugide anyị wee rue anyị asị mba na anyị ga-aga ka anyị nwee ike wee nwere onwe anyị ọ ka mma na anyị nwụrụ ebe anyị na-azọ nwere onwe tụbụ na anyị nọ n'ụlọ etu a mmadụ ibe mabata n'ime ụlọ mbịa gbupụ m isi a sị na achọghị ụdị nka ọ bụghị anyị maka a ga-eji wee chụọ àjà ọzọ.
onye si na ya ga-ata anyị ahụhụ ma ọ bụ na anyị ife arụsị anyị wee na-efe arụsị mgbe were iwe gị na ọmụma gị wee bịa leta anyị ụmụ anyị wee na-anwụsị ụfọdụ nọ n'ụzọ ije ha anaghị alọta ụlọ ọzọ nne na nna wee na-ata ahụhụ wee na-ata ikikere eze nwaanyị konye ka ọ gaa ubi gaa rụọ ọrụ Fulani chiri ehi bata ebe ala gị n'iyi okwu ebepụ ya isi anyị bụ ka anyị kpọpụ onye nwe anyị n'ugwu Awụsa ahụ ejide anyị wee gbuo ihe ọ bụ anyị mara aka n'ime ha si maka ha aga n'ihu elekwa ọdụ ụgbọ mmiri n'igwe ọcha bụ ememiri ọya nke dị na Kalaba otu aka ahụ anyị na-ala nsọ ebe Biafra bụ ndị kọstọm sokwenye anyị n'etiti anyị anọghị n'ime mmiri kama kọstọm jiri ebe niile ha wee na-ata anyị ahụhụ anyị kwuo ekwesịpụta anyị ka kpọchie anyị kwuo ekwesịpụta anyị ka gbagbuo anyị onye nwe anyị na Chineke na nke bi n'igwe ọ bụ ụzọ dị anya ka isi na-ekwu ndị iro anyị n'anya wee karịa ndị nke gị akwa anyị bụ ụmụ Chineke akwa ọba aha anyị ka anyị na-aza akwa ọba anyị nwe na-aza ike Chukwu akwa ọba anyị nwe na-aza amara Chineke akwa ọba anyị nwe na-aza Chisom akwa ọba anyị nwe na-aza Chizoba nna nke dị nsọ onye ime eluigwe dịka otu onye iro dị na anyị bụ ụmụ gị bịa ka iwe zọpụta anyị bịa ka iwe napụta anyị n'aka ọjọọ ihe bịa ka iwe lụọrọ anyị ọgụ bịa ka iwe detuo ozu ọ bụ ọkọwa mgbe mmiri na Goliath nke igwe ruo ebe mi na fero site otu a mee ka fero ka ọgụzọ n'ihu ụmụ ndị anyị ga-ebite onwe eji akọkọ igiri ọtọ ọsọ ị ga na-edu anyị n'ụzọ niile nke ezi omume ọ bụla adịghị na anyị na-aga ndagwurugwu onyinye ọnwụ ọ bụ nwa bụ ekele n'igwe n'ụwa onye ọbụla kere gị n'oge malite n'oge ọgwụgwụ kama anyị nwe anyị gwa amakwa ahụ ofu ụbọchị anyị ga-anwụ n'ezie kama ma akpọ na okwu gị na-anọgide ego mgbe ebighị ebi ọ bụ ya mere anyị ji were gị n'anya isi anyị wee na-asị nna nke dị nsọ bịa ka iwe gosi anyị Biafra na ndụ na-abụghị n'ọnwụ bịa ka iwe mee ka ebe gị na amara gị wee kpuchiri anyị ka uwe bịa ka iwe zọpụta ndị nke gị bịa ka iwe mee ka Biafra wee bịa ka anyị na-ewetụta na nsọpụrụ na ịja mma site n'aha gị onye bụ Chukwu nke abịa ma
Welcome. Thank you for joining us on this very evening program. I appreciate everyone that has connected to this program wherever you are connecting from. Please kindly like and share to other platforms. Share to family and friends, share to your neighbor, share to everyone that is close to you out there. Don't keep the message to yourself. Make sure you invite somebody to join us on this very episode. Remember, today is that day that we have chosen, the Monday sit at home. And as we speak, the sit at home today, as always, was a very, very successful one. The Biafrans have continued to air their opinion. Monday is a day that will demand the unconditional release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Monday is a day that will tell the world that Nigeria has lost legitimacy in Biafra territory. Monday is a day we demand the release of all Biafran political prisoners, including our Prime Minister Mazi Simon Ekpa. They have tried everything they can to stop us. But the will of the people must stand. Soludo have continued to attack Biafrans live, left, and center. With all the terrorizing of the Biafrans of Soludo, with all his maneuver and manipulation, the Biafra continues to stand strong. The more they try to stop the sit at home, the more the people obey it. The most important, my most joy is that this sit at home is a confirmation and vindication for our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa, who is coming to court on the 5th of August. And I want every one of you who have seen the link for the support of the court, go and join that very support for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's court case. Go in there and make your contribution to support the case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, because you know now he has an international lawyer, and that international lawyer needs the support of the Biafran people that need money to make him work. The international lawyer who is going to be there to pursue the case of Mazi Simon Ekpa in international grounds, speak with the external forces, the United Nations, the UN, European Union, and the External Affairs Minister of Finland, to make sure that they do not take away the rights of Mazi Simon Ekpa. Just as it was explained, the lawyer will not sit in the court to defend Mazi Simon Ekpa in Finland, but he's going to do some extra work outside to make sure that the right of Mazi Simon Ekpa is upheld. Remember, in the first instance, they refused to admit all the evidence against Nigerian government. The prosecutor refused to admit it for a reason, but not to them. So we cannot fold our hand again and watch them do the same thing in appeal court. That is why an international lawyer is needed to put pressure and watch closely to what they are going to do on the appeal court. It is very important. So Biafran people, this sit at home is a vindication for our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa. And he will continue to be vindicated. They have accused him of different kinds of things, accused him of so many kinds of atrocities. But I bet you, the more they continue to push their propaganda, the more the Biafrans see the reason that they have to sit at home. And the whole world is watching. The whole world is watching. with what is happening, with what transpired in this situation, with the fact that the Biafran people have refused, they have refused to stop. They have refused to stop. Even when Mazen Nandekano have sent the information and say stop, the Biafran people say no, it is our duty to free you. The pain of leaving Mazen Nandekano in Sokoto is deep in every Biafran's heart, and the Biafran people are showing that pain. The pain of leaving Mazen Nandekano in Sokoto, the pain of convicting Mazen Nandekano without an existing law, the kidnap of Mazen Nandekano and the lies against the Biafran people has made us to stand strong. There is nothing you can do to stop the Biafran people from sitting at home. Nothing. No human being will stop it. Only Mazen Nandekano can call off the sit at home, and he will call it off from outside, not from inside. Mazen Nandekano will call the sit at home off with a live speech from him. With a live speech, he will make speech live from his father's house. Except that sit at home will never stop. Soludo can take all the military and put it in Anambra State. Soludo can attack everybody he wants to attack. Soludo can take over the entire Anambra State. He will fail. And as we speak, there is protest going on in Anambra against Soludo. Today, he locked another shop today. I think the spare parts section. He locked the spare parts. This is in Newi. He shut down another market today. That is how he will shut down the entire Anambra State. Soludo, we are looking to you that you will shut down the entire Anambra State, because Anambra people will never stop the sit at home. They will not stop because they know this is a matter of life and death. We have nobody representing us in the Zoological Republic. Nobody, no representation anywhere, not in the East, not in the West, nobody, not in the Assembly, not in the Senate, no governor, no politician is representing the Biafran people anywhere in Nigeria. The only representation we have is this sit at home. This is the only voice we have, sit at home. And they are trying everything they can to take that voice away from us. They are fighting us so hard, fighting every now and again to take away the only single thing we have. And you think we will fold our hands and allow them to succeed? They will never succeed. They will never, ever succeed. Wherever you are watching this program, I want you to like the program and share it, and also send it to people who think that the sit at home is not going on. The sit at home will continue. People are still sitting at home on their own, by themselves. Nobody is forcing them. Today is Monday. Look at how scanty the road is. With all the threats from Soludo, with all the attack from Soludo, people are still not coming out. That shows that the people know what they want. That confirms that Mazi Simon Ekpa is innocent of all the accusations. This confirms that all we are saying, that the will of the people will stand, is right. What you are watching is Anambra State. Anambra State will continue to sit at home. The entire Biafra will continue to sit at home. If they like, let them bring all their military, put them on the road, continue to attack Biafrans as they are doing. They will never succeed. The people knows what they want, and they will continue to follow what they want. If you like, put your propaganda. If you like, put your blackmail. If you like, show your different kinds of fake gathering of people. We will debunk you. And the international community is watching. When they put their satellite on a Monday, look at how empty road is in Onitsha. On a Monday that you know is the beginning of the business day that is rowdy. In a normal day, you can't walk with foot. You have hold up with foot walking in this area. On a normal day, you will have hold up with your leg, let alone being in a vehicle. If they go there and film this place you are filming, go and film it tomorrow. You will not even have any space. You will not see the tag. All you see everywhere is blocked. But because the Biafran people know what they want to, they are coming out, doing what they had to do. Because they know what they want. They continue to sit at home, even with the force, all the force that Soludo is putting in, all the attack from Soludo, the Biafran people are still doing the needful. And Soludo cannot understand that. He cannot bear it. Now he is attacking the Biafran people. He is attacking our people. He is sending his terrorists to attack people, blackmailing people, shutting down markets. And I bet you he should prepare to shut down the entire Anambra state. Soludo, get ready to shut down Anambra state. You have not started. All the propaganda and blackmail you are pushing against our people will fail. And at the end of the day, you will be disgraced. Soludo will be completely disgraced. He will be disgraced. He will be completely disgraced. As we speak, a protest is going against Soludo. And we are going to make sure we try and capture that protest against Soludo. The Biafran people are protesting. Protesting against the tyrannic government of Soludo, sponsored by the criminal terrorist country called Nigeria. The governors are working with them to hold their people captive. They want to subject us to different kinds of criminality. They are doing different kinds of violence against Biafran people. A violent government, and they will be the one to accuse us of violence. Meanwhile, they are the author of violence. Soludo have introduced violence in different forms. Even when we refuse to respond, Soludo will force everybody to engage in violence. That is why he's using different kinds of techniques, attacking and locking markets. When people are following their heart, people who have been denied their rights decide to activate their rights, and Soludo come against them, begin to attack innocent people. And I bet you it will never be well with him, no matter how he tries. Today, he locked up some other shops today. So many other shops were locked today. And we are going to try to get the videos up so that you will see what is happening in the Zoological Republic, Anambra to be precise today. It is a shame. It is a big, big shame. And the Biafrans are not backing down. They are already protesting to expose the evil of Soludo. The Biafrans are already protesting to expose it, and it will be definitely exposed. It will definitely be exposed. That is a protest against Soludo. That is protest against Seibo today. That is a protest against Seibo. Today, 23rd. Let him be prepared. Tell Soludo to prepare. he should prepare to take the life of the entire people in main market. He should get prepared because Biafrans know what they want and they are not backing down. It does not matter how long it takes. It does not matter their propaganda and their blackmail. It doesn't matter what they feel or what they want to do. The Biafran people will never back down. Biafrans will never back down. The people have made their choice. And the choice of the people must be respected. The choice of the people must be respected. Instead of that, Soludo is going ahead, locking shops where innocent traders are trading. And they think that will make him free. That will not make him free. I want us to hear this. This one is also happening today. Threatening people, forcing them against their will. You can imagine the criminals that are working with Soludo. You can imagine the criminals shutting down the market. They are shutting down Nnewi spare parts market. This is what Soludo is doing, attacking the businesses of Biafrans. These are people that are showing solidarity to their leader. Everything they are doing is in solidarity with our supreme leader, Mazen Nandekan, demanding his unconditional release. Instead of addressing that issue, what Soludo is doing is to unleash mayhem on the people, to cause suffering on the people. And you think he's going to get free. Soludo will never go scot-free. The Biafran people will definitely give it to him the way he wants it. That thing he's looking for, that very thing he is looking for, Soludo is going to get it. And I bet you Biafran people are going to give it to him in a trailer load so that he can understand it very well. They will give it to him in a trailer load. This is a man who doesn't care about humanity. A man who doesn't care about the complaint of his people. With all the complaint the people are laying, with all that the people are saying every day, free our leader Mazen Nandekano, Soludo is not concerned. Soludo doesn't care. What he cares about is how to attack the Biafran people, how to demonize us, how to give us bad name. That is what concerns Soludo. This is the idiot he sent and threatened the market people. He has shut it down. Has shut it, and that is the update that is coming from this criminal. The Anambra State government has ordered the closure of Nnewi Auto Spare Parts Market. Ordered the closure of Nnewi Auto Spare Parts Market for 1 week, following traders' failure to comply with Chukwuma Soludo directive to stop every Monday sit at home in Anambra State. Uba was in company with the State Commissioner for Information, Dr. Law, Moto, and Special Advisor, Mefo, and Special Advisor to the Governor on Security, AVM, Ben Chobi, retired, and Chairman Newi local government area. This is how Oslo is doing, going around threatening people and forcing people against their will to open their shops, attacking the businesses of the Biafran people. And he think by that threat, he will succeed. You are only making things worse. You're only making things worse. No matter what you do, no matter what you say, you will never succeed. You will never succeed. This is a country where the terrorists are already taking charge of the northern part of Nigeria. They are not doing anything about it. Christian genocide is still going on. They are not doing anything about it. They are waiting to transport. All they are fighting for is how to transport that insecurity to Biafra land. That is what Soludo is working towards. Make sure you destabilize Biafra land. Make sure you create chaos. That is the assignment that is given to this idiot called Seibo. That is what Seibo is doing. And he will never go scot-free. The gods of the land must surely end. The gods of the land must surely hold him responsible in a country where terrorists are in charge. As we speak, there is still abduction going on. As we speak, many states, Kaduna State is still under attack. Plateau, there's another massacre in Plateau as we speak. Another massacre. But nobody cares about that. Even the government doesn't care about it. What they care about is continue to attack the Biafran people. Force them out of their home against their will to come and participate in your idiotic project that they are not part of. And we will never be silent. We will never allow them to succeed. Let them continue to try. Let them continue to try. We will never allow them to succeed. It is so sad. It is so sad what we are seeing in this time and in this generation. My fellow Biafrans, we have to go further. I want to show you what is happening. The latest attack that is happening, the Christian genocide have intensified, even with the President of the United States. Even with the presence of the United States, the attack is not stopping.
Another round of terrorism.
The attack is not stopping. Somebody would have thought that for the fact that the United States is on the ground, that they are going to relax, they will stop attacking. But I bet you, instead of stopping, they have increased the attack. But nobody cares. Nobody cares. The government doesn't care. What the government cares about is sponsoring insecurity in Biafra land through Soludo. Through Soludo, that is what they care about. I want us to listen to this latest attack in Plateau State.
Another round of terrorism. And we want the security to have it on record that our lives are not to be killed by so-called Fulani, whom as far as we are concerned, based on their modus operandi on the plateau and what happened here, these are terrorists. These are terrorists, and it must be admitted that Fulani that are killing us are terrorists. Yes. And of course, we are aware, and the frame of report, the Jew are cattle rustling, and poisoning Shanu, and now justifying these killings. Justifying these killings. Sir, you are the eye of the government here. Allah, we will not take it. Yes. If Fulani are not designated as terrorists, if Fulani are not stopped from grazing on our land, let it know that nobody should come and arrest anybody. Yes. Nobody should come and arrest anybody. The terrorists are there, they are killing people, they come with their cows, graze on farmland, poison their cows, and allege that we are the one killing their people by laying ambushes and shoot them, blame on us, and come with this terror attack on us. We have been pushed to the wall, we've been saying, I may not speak again, and nobody should cover me for anything. Nobody should cover us for anything. And Plateau people good to be killed like this, and Nigerians good to be killed like this, and the terrorists are there moving freely. Sir, I have stopped Fulani from blazing on our land. They go and graze there. Our land is not for any grazing. And I wish SJ said, so that they should not do this is our what. We are not fighting with anybody. We are law-abiding citizens. We are not fighting with any household, with anybody. But we stand to defend our land. We stand to defend our life. And our heritage is not to be shared with the Fulanis. Sharakansu are good for them. They own their cows. We own our land. If Fulani wants to acquire land, he should follow the lawful means. Not to come and hijack land by force, and then he's living there, and then from there he's not adapt. We are aware that terrorists have been brought in. We are aware that bandits have been brought in. That is named by yellow. And then nobody is doing anything. All who will come and see that Yara, they thought they should remove all these barricades. Let the world know. Let there be something on these people that have been killed. I will appeal one thing. These people have already planned their propaganda. As of yesterday, we got it on the credible authority that Fulani are saying that list of Mutani who killed them at what point. People were killing their homes. Let us know that where have the Fulani ever been killing his home? Even those land that were grabbed by an act of terrorism. So, sir, we are appealing. Let us do one thing. Do that they have said we've been burying empty coffin. Can we do something? While we dig the grave, let these people be taken to General Hospital here and certified by the doctor, maybe within an hour, while the graves are being done, so that we will have them back and bury them, so that police will have on their report. We are saying this is because God will do something that the people that perpetrated this act will be arrested. And should there be any arrest, there will be evidence to prove that these are the perpetrators of this act. But sir, please, sir, wallahi, Fulani should stop grazing on our land. There is no agreement. There is no agreement between Mutani and the Fulani come and graze on our land. We don't have that symbiotic relationship. Sir, I'm still repeating this. We cannot guarantee safety and peace on the plateau if Fulani continue grazing on our land. And nobody should be arrested for anything, under whatever guise they don't have poison in shadow. In a poison in shadow, does that justify this act? In a poison in shadow, who did the poisoning? Is it our people or the Fulani? We are aware that Fulani, anytime they have already planned attack on our people, they will skim it. They will go and poison their cows. They will start killing their own. And unless possibly they will go and kill people that are not in support of what they are doing. And then they will shift the blame on us. Fulani, Kuntibashu. Fulani, Kuntibashu. Let it be known. Kuntibashu. That is just it. And sir, I'm proscribing Mieti Allah. Because Mieti Allah has become like the mouthpiece of these individuals. Going to give any kind of report without allowing the security to verify it. Let Mieti Allah on the plateau be proscribed. Let them also be enlisted as terrorist organization. Because I want to believe that they are the ones, encouraging some of these things. Otherwise, something had happened. You went on air and alleged that you're militia, and we don't have militia, and any Fulani settlement never been attacked. So we kill Akashemu simply because they have the propaganda machine and they have the backing of some political office holders. But they are on. Tokuji, Jama, Wallahi, if you don't invest on us, if you don't invest on our well-being, don't come for us for anything. Yes. If you don't invest in us for our well-being, don't come for anything. We cannot continue to be killed like this. There you are. This even Mama so. The last killing was in the bush. Where it was alleged that Fulani were ambushed. And it's in their environment. And nobody has ever gone to their environment You cannot even feel in broad daylight. Not to even talk about in the night. But we have been killed in our homes. We deserve absolute government protection. And where it says, and the people rise up, nobody should blame them.
You have had it. This is what is happening in the Zoological Republic. But they will focus their attention on Biafran people. Why they are taking the life of the Christians in the north, Soludo is helping them to do the job in Biafra land. Why the Christian persecution and genocide is going on in the north, Soludo is trying everything he can to activate that same genocide in Biafra land. But I bet him he will never succeed because the God of Biafra will smack him. He will never succeed. No matter how he tried, he will never succeed. We are not Nigerians, and we will never be. It does not matter how they try to paint it or say it. We are not the Zoological Republic, Nigeria, and we will never be. Whatever they try to manipulate and do, we are not part of them, and we will never be. The Biafran people know where they belong. We know whom we are. And we cannot allow ourselves to be abused and used by the Zoological Republic called Nigeria. Enough is enough. We have made so much sacrifice. We have sacrificed so much in that Zoological Republic, and we cannot continue to sacrifice. They have used us on so many occasions to settle their madness. Whenever they have issues, they use us to settle their issues. And we say enough is enough. We cannot continue on that wicked path. We cannot continue to allow them to use us to create their one Nigeria. We can never, ever allow them to continue on that evil trajectory. Not anymore. We, the Biafran people, we know what we want. We know whom we are. We don't need anybody to come and interpret to us whom we are. We don't need anybody to come and tell us what we are supposed to do. We don't need anybody to come and tell us who we are not. The time has come, and we are ready. No matter the evil they push against us, no matter the evil they project against us, we, the Biafran people, every one of us must stand strong. Stand your ground and stand strong. Don't allow anything to move you. No matter how they try to take you away from the road, no matter how they try to manipulate their evil against you, do not allow their manipulations to work. So, my beloved brothers and sisters, we are going to go to their conventional media to check up on what they have in their media, their lies that we can debunk, because you know there is no truth in them. These are a bunch of liars. Let us listen to what this clown is saying.
Good morning, Adufemi. Good morning, Dr. Rubin. Good morning, Ayo. Good morning. Everybody. Congrats on Tottenham. What can I say? I don't deserve congratulations. Is that fair? Because I say Ayo. Oh, okay. No problem. No problem. We see Chelsea next week. Okay. We'll take it. It's fine. Don't mind him. Don't mind him. We'll be celebrating together at the end of the season. Moving on.
That was decent, but you know, Tottenham was already toast. That's a half-baked team.
Why is it teams are only half-baked when Arsenal win? You never know. Anyway, morning to you, let me tell you what's happening around the world. An armed man has been shot and killed after entering the secure perimeter of Trump's Mar-a-Lago residence in Florida. Now, sources have identified the suspect as 21-year-old Austin T. Martin, who was allegedly carrying a shotgun and a fuel can when he was spotted near the north gate of Mar-a-Lago. Now, officials are investigating if Martin purchased the weapon while driving from his home state of North Carolina, where his family actually reported him missing on Saturday. Now, Trump was not in Florida at the time of the incident.
But we are staying with the United States. Now, the US Supreme Court has ruled that most of Trump's sweeping global tariffs were unlawful, saying that he overstepped his authority under emergency trade powers. Now, it's a decision that could pave the way for companies and possibly governments to seek refunds on billions of dollars in duties that have already been paid. So Trump's tariff policies had imposed a baseline 10% duty on all imports, and in many cases higher rates for specific partners and countries. So under that regime, that included countries like Nigeria, for example, that got hit with around 14 to 15% tariffs. And then on Canada, it was 35%. China was among the hardest hit with 47%, and there was up to 50% on Brazil. Now, these were all tariffs on their exports into the United States. Now, other economies from the European Union to China and India, they also face elevated levies that significantly raise the cost of trade. So with the Supreme Court's decision now in place, governments and importers in many of those countries are preparing legal moves to claim refunds, while global markets assess the broader economic and diplomatic fallout of that huge decision. Again, we're staying with the United States because it has been a tough few days for Trump, as Greenland's government has firmly rejected this offer from US President to send a US hospital ship to the Arctic territory. Now, Trump announced on his social media platform, Truth, that he was working with Louisiana Governor Jeff Landry to dispatch a great hospital boat to Greenland to treat people he said were sick and not being taken care of. But Greenland's Prime Minister, in response, his name is Jens Frederick Nielsen, he's literally said, no thank you, saying that the autonomous Danish territory already has a publicly funded healthcare system that provides free care for its citizens. And if specialist care is ever required, people often travel to neighboring Denmark for treatment. Now, tensions between the United States and Denmark over Trump's repeated interest in Greenland continue to escalate. Now, we wrap things up in Brazil. Now, Rio de Janeiro's annual Carnival Parade competition did wrap up last week, but we did see a school there called Samba School of Viradouro. They took the top prize for its tribute to its late drum director. But this year's celebrations were also marked by political controversy. So Samba School, it's called Acadêmicos de Niterói, staged a performance honoring Brazilian President Lula da Silva. And it traced his history from childhood poverty as a shoeshine boy to clearly elevating all the way to the presidency. Now, the president attended the parade at the South after publicly endorsing the tribute. However, the performance did face backlash from opposition figures who argued that showcasing a sitting president amounted to early campaigning, and that is ahead of October's elections, where Lula is seeking a fourth term. Now, several legal challenges were filed in an attempt to block the parade, but Brazil's courts rejected most of those requests. Now, the show also featured a depiction of former far-right President Jair Bolsonaro. There he is depicted as a clown behind bars, further intensifying the political tensions therein. Now, despite the high-profile tribute to Lula da Silva, Acadêmicos de Niterói did finish in last place in the competition and was then relegated to the second-tier division. So it will be participating in a lower-level competition come 2027. So I guess the question is, if a carnival float can spark legal challenges, what does that say about the intensity of Brazil's political climate ahead of its elections this year? Well, we'll find out when our anchors give their comments. But let's take a look at our newspaper headlines from across the world. As ever, we begin with the front page of This Day. And This Day does lead with reports that the APC, the All Progressives Congress, has strengthened its political dominance in the Federal Capital Territory ahead of the 2027 general elections after winning 5 out of 6 area council chairmanship seats. And that's while President Bola Ahmed Tinubu described the peaceful conduct of the polls as a boost to Nigeria's democratic institutions. Let's take a look at the New Telegraph this morning. Thank you. So the New Telegraph does report that the National Assembly says that the 2026 Electoral Act will improve Nigeria's elections through key reforms, including mandatory electronic transmissions of results, a dedicated funding structure for INEC, BVAS voter accreditation, digital party membership, registers, and stricter penalties to strengthen transparency ahead of the 2027 general elections. The Daily Independent is what we've got up next. And the Daily Independent does report that Nigeria has won a $6.2 million arbitration case against a European, they're a UK firm and they're called European Dynamics UK Limited. And that was after a tribunal dismissed that UK business's claim over a national e-procurement project. It's a huge relief for Nigeria and the Nigerian government as the court affirmed Nigeria's contractual position. So it will not be paying that $6.2 million. Let's move on to the leadership this morning. And the leadership does report that Nigeria's capital market has contributed to GDP. Its contribution to GDP has risen to 33%, and that's up from 13% after market capitalization grew and has been growing since April of 2024. Let's take a look at the Daily Trust this morning. The Daily Trust reports that Nigeria's economic growth is at risk, and that is as many ministries receive little or no capital budget funding in 2025, and that is despite large allocations, with experts warning that poor cash releases for infrastructure and development projects could weaken public services and expose serious flaws in budget implementation. Let's take a look at the Punch. We have the Punch up next. And essentially what they are looking at is the oil sector. So it is reporting that oil sector agencies, including the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, the NNPCL, and the Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission have raised concerns over President Tinubu's recent directive ordering oil and gas revenues to be paid directly into the Federation account. And they are warning that it could create funding challenges and unsettle investors, despite government claims that the policy will improve transparency and fiscal discipline. Let's take a look at The Guardian, because we are wrapping up things on this 6-month shea butter export ban. And essentially the Guardian is reporting that the uncertainty is surrounding the future of this Nigeria's shea nut export market, as a 6-month export ban is coming to its end, with government officials divided over whether to extend the policy to boost local processing or to relax it in order to restore trade. We'll see what they decide. Let's move on to our UK papers. We've got the UK version of The Guardian. And the UK Guardian is reporting that one of the...
Is it tax on the people? Till the slash you can see in a heart. And despite the
sinners, and it's also named as one of our Rising News' Women of Impact this year. So those are newspaper headlines, and your brief up to your thoughts.
Congratulations. And congratulations to a certain man called Neil Kittal. Neil Kittal worked in the Obama administration. And congratulations to the consortium of small businesses that told Neil Kittal to go to court. Shame on the big businesses. Shame. Because the big businesses felt the best way was to kowtow to Trump. Where is Bezos? Where is his Amazon? Isn't it a big shame on them? That despite the fact that the effect of the tariff was affecting their business, he didn't go to court. What did he do? He rather went to give Melania Trump $75 million to kowtow to Trump. But they took Neil Kittal and the consortium of small businesses, and he went to court and they challenged his illegality. But Trump being Trump, what has he done now? He's going to invoke the 1977 law, where you can have, if you want to do balance of trade, you can have a moratorium of 150 days and you can still put a tariff forward to still get something out of it. But everything is slashed. You can see in a heartbeat what he did to Brazil because of Jair Bolsonaro, because of politics. It's been slashed. It's been slashed. So all of the things he did illegally has now been slashed. And if you have followed that proceedings, Justice Sonia Sotomayor kept on repeating, a tariff is a tax on the people. And that's it. And I'm happy that some of these appointees, the likes of the Gossage of this world, the likes of everybody, Colin Barrett, they allowed common sense prevail. I read the dissenting judgment by Brett Kavanaugh. I mean, what we expect of Brett Kavanaugh. But they allowed common sense prevail, and you can't keep doing this to America. So his so-called tool in his toolbox of I'll slam you with tariff, I'll put some tariff on you, it's all gone. The power's all gone. And thanks to the resolve of people to challenge the status quo. So the true hero here, for me, is Neil Kittal and two contacts, the consultant of small businesses, and it's been shattered. That's the way to face bullies and dictators. You face them fire for fire. I just hope that people that sulk up to bullies here in our own part of the world, people that sulk up to election riggers, I just hope they get to learn.
All right, okay, so the Brazilian story.
The schools, like you identified, I could prove, is a community-based non-profit organization.
National Electoral Commission conducted elections in the 6 FCT area councils as well as by-elections in Biafra East Constituency 2 and Canal Constituency 2 in River State, and the Kano Municipal and Mugongo constituencies in Kano State. The African Democratic Congress, ADCE, on Saturday condemned the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, for visiting polling units in Abuja during the area council elections, describing his actions as direct interference and a potential source of voter intimidation. In a statement signed by the party's National Publicity Secretary, Bolaji Abdullahi, the ADC said Wike's tour, which followed a curfew imposed on potential voters, represents direct interference in the election. The African Democratic Congress states Abdullahi strongly condemns the movement of the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, around various polling units in Abuja under the guise of monitoring. Meanwhile, Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, has said he did not impose a curfew across the FCT ahead of the Saturday's area council's elections on his own, but acted only with the approval of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Wike, a former governor and a key federal official, was speaking after visiting several polling stations, including Gaki, Karu, Kashi, Wasa, Akpo, and Keti, as part of his oversight of the polls. In his remarks, he pushed back against criticisms from the FCT's representative at the National Assembly, Senator Iriti Kingibe, who had condemned the movement restrictions as undemocratic. Joining us on Political Brief to discuss these stories is Arise Director of News and Politics Editor, Sumna Sambo. Good morning, Sumna Sambo, and thank you for joining us. Well, very quickly, I don't need to offer any summary. The thing speaks for itself. Your take on the elections in Abuja and the by-elections in Kano and also in River State. We've been discussing this subject all morning, but it would be nice to get your own perspective.
Yes. Thank you so much, Dr. Abati. Good morning, Rufai. Good morning, Ayo. And it's so good to have all of you and our viewers join us. Now, let's take a look. I want to look at this from different perspectives, from very complex perspectives. Let's start from the voter turnout. It will interest you and our viewers to actually know that there's an improvement in the turnout of elections in the last FCT election that happened on Saturday. If you look back from now till 2013, in 2013, for example, we had a voter turnout of about 15%. Of about 16.37%. That's the highest since 2013 that we've ever had. Because going into 2016, going into 2019, into 2022, and now 2026, the voter turnout for elections in the FCT area councils have always been poor. For example, in that of 2022, it was 9.4% turnout of registered voters. And this time around, it's about 15% turnout. So this is a remarkable improvement in 2026 compared to the voters that turned out in the 2022 election. Now let's go to the results that have often come out from these elections. From 2013, in 2013, the PDP won 5 of the 6 area councils, and the All Nigeria People's Party, the ANPP then, which is now defunct, won 1 of the area council, and which was Gwagwalada. And then you will now go on to 2016. In 2016, the APC would then go ahead and win 5 of the area councils, being the new governing party in power at the federal level, and then lost 1, which was Gwagwalada Area Council. And that was lost to Afghan. Now, you then go on to 2019, and in 2019, we had a sort of situation that led to the APC winning 4 and losing 6. And then take a look at what then happened ahead. In 2022, these political parties would then go ahead and share 3-3. So the APC won 3, the PDP won 3. And then, of course, you come to 2026, we are seeing the results, where what happened in 2026 is like the exact replica of what happened in 2013. So in 2013, PDP won 5 and lost 1 to the ANPP, and it was Gwagwalada Area Council. And now in 2026, the APC has won 5 and it's lost 1 this time around. Gwagwalada Area Council still, but to the PDP. Now, I'm giving these perspectives so that our viewers will know that the voting patterns in the FCT have always been pretty different. Some of the voters that we have here, especially in Gwagwalada Area Council, have always been very, very sophisticated voters. Take a look at Gwagwalada Area Council, for example. Why did the APC come second there? The APC came second there because they fielded someone who's not an indigenous person in the FCT, someone from Kano State. And party members had told the party that it was going to pay dearly for bringing someone from outside to actually feature. And that person that was brought in with the influence of the former APC national chairman, Abdullahi Ganduje, whom many people do not know that actually served in the FCT administration, sometimes in the 90s. And now, take a look at what happened in Gwagwalada and now replicate it to what happened at the Abuja Municipal Area Council, which is where all attention is with the African Democratic Congress, the ADC. Now, the same thing that happened in the Gwagwalada Area Council is what happened here, that the ADC, will then go ahead and field someone who is not an indigenous person and someone who is having a vice chairperson who is not an indigenous person. And then it was more of like a Christian ticket. So that may, in one way or the other, have angered people to have voted the way they did in their voting pattern. Now, take a critical look at the presidential election results too that have also come out from the AFCT since 2011. In 2011, Goodluck Jonathan won election in the FCT. In 2015, Goodluck Jonathan won election in the FCT, but Buhari lost, though Buhari won nationally. In 2019, Buhari would then go ahead and still lose the FCT to Atiku Abubakar. And at the 2023 general election, the FCT voters would then cast their vote to a third political party, that's the Labour Party, ditching the PDP, ditching the APC. Now, you would have seen that there's a pattern of voting here. And then at the National Assembly elections, PDP won in 2015, 2011, 2019. But in 2023, these voters in the FCT decided to go with the Labour Party, just like they did in the presidential election. The same thing for the House of Representatives seats. And these two people are non-indigenous people. That is Senator Ereti Kingibe of the Labour Party, who is now of the ADC. And then Honorable Chinedu Joshua Obika of the Labour Party, who is now of the APC. Now, let's turn our attention to why the ADC would have lost the election in the Abuja Municipal Area Council. The Abuja Municipal Area Council is the administrative headquarters of the FCT and Nigeria, because that's where the seat of the presidency is. Now, the FCT, having this area, the AMAC, as a cosmopolitan area, still has villages that are attached to it. Now, the ADC did not go to many of these villages to campaign. There are about 49 villages apart from the city center and districts that we have. And because the ADC was still coming up, the ADC actually lacked a whole lot of structures. Some of the areas that they went to campaign were mostly elite or semi-urban areas. So within the city center, and then semi-urban areas like Nyanya, like Karu, like some other areas around. And so the voters may not have been properly carried, in place by the ADC. And then you see that the ADC itself has not completed putting the structures around the Federal Capital Territory. Ask yourself, how many councillorship candidates did the ADC have in the 6 area councils? We have 858 communities in the FCT. We have 62 wards, political wards, which fielded councillorship candidates. How many of those councillorship candidates were the ADC? So the attention of the ADC was more on the Abuja Municipal Area Council. And the issue here is that this Abuja Municipal Area Council has always been dominated by the PDP and the APC. And then you will see that the person who won the election, Christopher Zaka Mekalangu, is actually a player, if I'm to use football terms, a player who was loaned by the PDP to the APC. Just last year, April, was when he defected from the People's Democratic Party Progressive Congress. And then he will go ahead, face a primary, and won. But what happened to the ADC candidate, Paul Moses? He actually did not stand election at the primary level. It was more of a consensus because it was more of like the obedient unit of the ADC came together with the support of Peter Obi and the ticket was handed. So there were already some rivalries within the ADC that a contest was not allowed and he emerged. And some people kept saying that he wasn't a popular candidate that should have been given the ADC ticket. And so if you juxtapose all of this together, you will see that even the APC's candidate that the APC is celebrating that won the election is actually a PDP candidate because the PDP had always dominated the politics of FCT and then of recent, there has always been a fight between both parties. So I want to also put this in proper perspective. I know that we have had issues with the elections, but no majority of the people that came out to vote were rural voters, and the voter statistics in this has always been like this.
I want to point out that you didn't factor in your analysis. I don't think it's a fair thing to compare the 2022 area council elections with the 2026 area council elections, and I'll tell you why. Sometimes at February 12th, when the 2022 area council elections were done, Nigeria was still under COVID protocols. COVID protocols were just lifted in April 2022. That's one. Secondly, that was done under the last electoral law, the one that we used from 2019, because it was just on the 25th of February that President Buhari signed the electoral law that at least recognized that we could have a BVAS and a transmission machine. And we all know how enthusiasm jacked up after the signing of that electoral law. And because a lot of people thought it was a game changer until they were disappointed on election day. Thirdly, 2026, and you can dial back some now. 2026 is the area council election that had the biggest media coverage leading up to the elections. I'm not sure any area council election have had this level of media coverage and the big wigs campaigning like this, like the 2026 election. And that's why I'm still arguing that that number is paltry for the level of media that went into it. If with all of these factors I've given, we could only get a 15% turnout, it's an indictment comparing it to the last election cycle in 2022. Because this one had media, this one had awareness. The electoral laws were signed in place. We all know that it was the first litmus test. And apart from all the dynamics you cited, all the parameters failed. INEC didn't come up to the party. That was mass rigging. I mean, look at the result sheets we saw in circulation. Look at what happened in bullying. Look at the case of the curfew. Look at all the background management to be able to act against any formidable opposition in this election. I mean, this is appalling. And these are just some of my submissions as regards this. This is appalling. And yes, I was citing the election result of the close to 30% of the general elections. That was what I was citing. But this is appalling.
All right, Rufai.
You can respond.
All right, Rufai. Let me attend to some of the issues you've raised. Yeah, let me attend to some of the issues you've raised here. You talked about the awareness that has been created. Well, it's because of the awareness that was created. That's why you even had this large turnout within the Abuja Municipal Area Council, which is the most cosmopolitan aspect of the Federal Capital Territory. Look at the difference between Christopher Zaka Mekalongu, who is of the APC, who won, and Moses Paul of the ADC, who came second. The result is 40,000 plus for the APC and 12,000 plus for the ADC. Now, what's the difference? About 28,000 votes. Now, look at the results in 2022. In 2022, this same Christopher Zaka Mekalongu had about 19,000 votes, and the person who came second of the APC then in this same Abuja Municipal Area Council had about 13,000 votes. His name is Murtala Karshi. He had about 13,000 votes. So 19 minus 13, that was about 6,000 votes difference. Now you would have seen, if we are to be pretty objective here, that the turnout in this election is much more than the turnout in the 2022 election. Yes, you mentioned the issues of COVID, but I mean, that was several years after COVID, right? Look at the issues that have come up here. The reason why there was a low interest before is because some of the presidential candidates or the government in power then did not really take Abuja as a place where they could really, show their strength. Because then President Muhammadu Buhari, during a visit by an FCT delegation during one of the Eid al-Kabir festivities, had called FCT a necessary evil because of their political voting pattern. But you will see that if we are to be fair to the statistics and figures that we have on ground, the voter turnout this time around is much higher. And then go back to 2013, you would have seen that the voting pattern in FCT has always been that when it comes to area council elections, it's much more left to the locals, to the indigenous people, and all of that. So there's usually not so much national attention. But in reality, this time around, the national attention brought a whole lot of people within the hinterlands and so on. Were some results defective? Yes, of course you had, like the one in Yangoji that you're talking about. And that's why we are asking for some of the issues that were affected to be resolved. And then go to Kuje, for example, as I tried to summarize, we had the results of the Kuje Area Council coming in late. And we asked why, because even the APC had complained that the results were not coming in on time. We had problems in some area, only for the APC to eventually end up winning the election.
All right.
So these are some of the voting patterns that you always have, and it's just a pure reflection of what happened in 2013, where PDP won 5-1, and in 2026 we're having APC winning 5-1.
Oh, thank you so much for your analysis this morning with us. So now we look forward to seeing you again next week, Monday.
This is their criminality. They always display their madness and criminality at all times.
That is what our enemies will prefer. Each and every person who benefits from the nation of Nigeria. The enemy of Nigerians, usually distractors, use religion, use ethnicity, use politics, partisanship, role, same competition, and the same growth. Yes, I would love to tear apart the enemy because Nigeria has helped all of us post. But I don't want to tear my country apart. I want to tear down the evil system that permits the evil that has overtaken my country. I don't want to tear the family apart because it's the system. What combines together is the family. It's not a coat of many colors, yes, but it becomes a coat only because the family was stitched together. It wasn't batik. It's not batik, it's not tie and dye. same direction. The Nigerian in the northern part of Nigeria must want the rule of law. The Nigerian in the southern part of Nigeria must want the rule of law. Because what ails you, as Mustafa, ails Abechi, the same thing is disturbing Olamide, not is afflicted by the same. The future must hold in Nigeria that is accountable to law, both by persons and institutions and states. We are more than them. We are by far more than them. Good morning in new Nigeria is what we should be saying to ourselves.
I don't think the British really wanted Nigeria to be a very successful country. We were dreaming very big, but the structures with which we were dreaming were already in trouble. Things started falling apart when Nigerian government began that process of eliminating other Nigerians from the process of governance, ensuring that what belongs to particular groups of people were denied them. The active destruction of the advantages certain people possess just in order to exercise power without having any practical goals in mind began. It began too early, which is to say, by 1960, the idea of smashing the opposition, of ensuring that people do not overdream, had started in Nigeria. I mean, I always start by saying what went wrong began when Nigerians started sharing the loot of independence, and it was agreed by the ruling coalition that some regions would have to be excluded and some regions must take over as many jobs as possible, and then all the developmental directions were simply set by the DD party. Once you did that, and Nigeria simply became an environment in which the struggle for sharing was more important than the production of value.
Quite a lot of those were killed during the July program. And I myself, I'm not an evil man, but I was to be killed also, and I just managed to escape. And a few of the officers escaped, but very many were killed. Those that were killed came from what was then Eastern Nigeria. For instance, Major Rock is not an evil man, but he was killed. Major was killed in Kaduna. Major Kanan was killed in Lagos, and he is not an evil man. And several others like that. I'm trying to say that the people, the officers killed, came not just from one tribe, but from the eastern Nigeria as it then was. So there you are. It was lucky for this.
You hesitate about using the term, but actually the Biafran problem was nothing except being genocidal. There was no distinction. The mere fact that you were an Easterner in those days labeled you fit only for one thing: death, and death at the hands of the Nigerian authorities. The Igbos and their associates were killed in practically every village in northern Nigeria. They were killed in many places in western Nigeria, Lagos, even on Kata Bridge, the very center of Lagos. People were looked at and thought, oh, this looked an Igbo, and killed. The very first army officer killed in Lagos, actually, during that time was from Calabar, was killed on the bridge, and so on. Igbos were being hunted out and killed. The Igbos that remained in Lagos after the war began were herded together and detained without any trial or anything.
no question of any legal rights. Till today, property of Igbos are still sequestered in various areas of Nigeria, and they have not been released, not all of them, to the Igbos, the original owners. Well, no, we're quite certain. In fact, the only reason it is not called or not accepted as genocidal is because of the Cold War. At that time, anything ethnic based was almost like an insult to humanity, and ethnicity became a term of abuse in politics. That's all. If it were today, certainly what happened in Nigeria is much, much worse than what you have seen of Rwanda, not to talk about Eastern Europe.
What's that now? We're not fighting. We know what we're doing. There is nothing anybody can do about it. Absolutely nothing. Nothing. I need them to understand this. We've crossed the Rubicon, the point of no return. There is nothing anybody can do. If I'm alive, if I'm dead, if I'm wherever I'm living. Yes, if I'm dead in the room, better, it will become far more quicker. I show you. If you have a starting for your process, if you're fighting along, you're bound to lose it. So Biafra is the first. We will become the 16th member country record. If Nigeria doesn't release those properties, then we'll take them to court and we'll take them back. Even for the value. The Jews had investments all over the world. Most of the priceless artifacts and paintings belong to many families in Germany. It was stolen by the Nazi Party. Do you know that? Eventually they got everything back. With compensation on top of it. That's what we're going to do. If we got our investment, we'll come back to it. And we know we can get it from it. So there is nothing anyone to worry about. If you are not stopping you from being an Nigerian, if you are born on the streets of Lagos, you're going to be a Persian and your name is Adam. Oh, well, I'm good. There's no problem.
If you do not believe in what we are doing, then better get out. We're not going to stop. God knows we can never stop until Biafra is restored. We are peace-loving people. We abhor death and killing of another soul. It's in our nature, that's how we are. And because of that, they have been coming and killing us all these years. We've kept quiet. They've been killing and killing and killing quiet. We have a case at the ICC. We have a case at Africa Union. We have a case of, what else again? Pending before the UN in New York. We've been to Geneva to tender our case. Before UN, till today, nothing. In fact, the more we complain to them, the more they come to abduct and rape our children, the more they come to kill us, the more they want to take over our land and our forests. And who told them that's going to be possible in our time? In a time, in a movement that I lead, you think can come into our land and take it over? Oh dear. That means you don't know who we are.
Most of you who claim you own businesses everywhere in Nigeria, for that reason, you want everybody to die. Nobody is above death. Death is going to visit everybody. Just have to pray that you live and make impact in this life. The impact that matters now, as far as Nigeria is concerned, is not the impact to make people millionaires. It is impact to make people to be alive. It is impact to make people to feel secure. It is impact to make people feel they are free. That's the biggest impact can be. People will become millionaires when they are alive. Of what use is it? You make somebody millionaire today and tomorrow he died by gunshot. Of what use will it be to the society? You pick up somebody and send him abroad and he come back to Nigeria and police kill him. It's happening every day.
All right. I don't.
My fellow Biafrans that are watching wherever you're watching from, what I gave you was just a brief of the situation and some of the informations that our leaders have left for us. This is to show you that we are not backing down. No matter what they do, no matter what they say, we are not backing down. We are going to be in this battle until we win it. Don't you ever back down. No matter the propaganda, no matter the blackmail, do not back down. I bet you our freedom is very close and we are going to win no matter what happens. I appreciate every one of you that have joined us on this program. Thank you so much for being part of the program. And by this grace of Chukwuka, I'm going to see you again tomorrow. Join us in our morning program when we will have time to speak more about important issues that bothers us. Join us in our morning program. We are going to speak about so many important issues that bothers us. Wherever you are, always remember that we have the responsibility to carry the Biafran quest to the highest level. Don't you ever give up. The battle is tough. That I know. Anybody that tells you that it's an easy task, that person is lying to you. It is not an easy task, but by the grace of Chukwuka, we shall overcome in this battle. Because this is something that has to do with our life, our future. It is something that concerns every one of us. It is not something we must play with. This is something that concerns us, and we must pay attention to every single information that is coming. It is for our own good. It is for our future. It is for our life. And as long as we continue to do the needful, Chukwuka will continue to guide us, protect us, and lead us to victory. My fellow Biafrans that are watching, I urge you in the name of Chukwuka never to give up, no matter how hard it is, no matter how difficult it is. Don't give up. Continue to stand your ground. If you know the contribution you have to make, please continue to make that contribution. More especially as we know we are facing the issue of our Prime Minister's fundraising for his court. The fundraising for the court of our Prime Minister is coming up. Please try and be there. No matter how little, try and be there. Master Samuel himself have made a request personally that every one of us should try also and be in Finland at August 5th when his case will come up. So people should buy their ticket on time so that it will be easier for every one of us to be there and give him the support that he needs. I appreciate every one of you that patiently join us on this program and hope to see you tomorrow morning. May Chukwuka guide and protect all of you. May Chukwuka guide and protect our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa. May Chukwuka guide and protect our school, Mazi Nandekan. Thank you so much for being part of this program. See you tomorrow morning. Like and share. Click the notification bell so that you will join us tomorrow morning. We'll start early and we end together. Don't miss anyone. Tomorrow is going to be a blockbuster. So many things will be revealed. Join us tomorrow morning and you will be glad you did. Good night, everybody, and stay blessed.
This is from Biafrans Got Talent. We are letting Biafrans know the reason why we should remember those who gave their lives for us, those who died, that we may live.
You die. You are my inspiration.
The deed no wrong, but then military shots at them. 67 to 70, we remember them. 2016, 38 May, memory still lives in our mind till today. Wonder why they refuse to publicize the genocide. The world media turn blind eyes to our plight. It's time to arise, land of the rising sun. Let's rise one more time, let's rise.
Yo, we will never forget our fallen heroes. Those who gave their life for us. Onitsha massacre, Iwata massacre, Aba massacre. We remember you. Alright.
Tell them I touched me, oh. Remember when me tell you say I touched me, oh. Yeah, I remember that one that called us a Bruce Mero. But the way you go like a papa nuku. Oh, them be we boniro. Me tell you what I look pandi, what pandi samiro. Me tell you what I day. For me the fella, the rest of man I tell you what I do. Me know that you come to tell them
heroes, I want to promise you something today. We must fight together, no retreat and no surrender. We must hold them down till the end of time. The most important thing is that we will restore Biafra. May your soul rest in peace.
I look up to the sky with tears in my eyes. For other Biafrans and for freedom had to die. We will never forget you as the days go by. You are always in my heart, you'll never be apart.
They fought for our freedom. They died for our freedom. They fought the Nigerian soldiers in the war front without food, without guns. For our freedom, for our life, for our own good, for our children. We love them, our heroes. We want them.
My heart bleeds when I saw them slain. Where will I be now if not then? They will remain indelible in my heart forever, 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 and ever, and ever, and ever.
We serve in your plantation, and the way you paid us back with your bloody starvation. We play in our history that the death of my people is a mystery. No going back to get to a victory. I had a voice now call for vengeance. I never get bombed, I'ma blow like a vengeance.
Yo, we will never forget our fallen heroes. Those who gave their life for us. Onitsha massacre, Iwata massacre, Aba massacre. We remember you. Alright.
Where will I be now if not you? You died at Mali.
They were starved to death because of our freedom, and they paid the debt for our freedom. Flag high for those that died in the genocide, fighting for you and I. There is pain in the heart, we bleeding inside, tears in the eyes, so I'm falling here.
This is for my fallen heroes. Keep them on the patient people. It's like I'm looking at myself in the mirror. Cause to be a cast, I need to be a nurse. If we did not retire,
They paid the ultimate price. They died for the freedom of my unborn child. We live for the legacy.
Yo, we will never forget our fallen heroes. Onitsha massacre, Iwata massacre, Aba massacre. We remember you. Alright. Yo, we will never forget our fallen heroes. Onitsha massacre, Iwata massacre, Aba massacre. We remember you. Alright.
Yeah, put the flag in the air. Never be afraid. March on, cause we are more than conquerors. Yeah, you know what